Cool. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another week of David's Deep Dive. Today, I'm going to cover something really cool. If you haven't been to one of these events, what I do every week is share things that will help to inspire and change your life and your business. My name is David A. Perez, and I should probably go back here. I wrote a book called Building Your Own Economy. I've done a few things in business that have really made me or given me the ability to share a lot of knowledge and experience that I've built over the course of my lifetime. And in these events, that's what I do. I hope to share some things that hopes to inspire you to do something better, something great. And good morning, everybody. So I don't have too much time today because I have some things I need to press on to. So I'm going to go through this as fast as possible, but I wanted to share something that I thought was very eye-opening for me. And looking back, it really has really been the real reason I am able to be able to do the things I am doing today. Has really all started at age 24. Now, I can be very real with you and say it probably started all when I was born, but really at age 24 is when I first got into business. You see, business was something that I had no idea how to get into, nor did I understand how I was going to do it. And at age 24, I got into the bar business. I was a bar fly. I was somewhat of a drunk. I was a smoker. I was probably not the right person for owning a bar, but I want to share with you how that all happened for me. And I did it without any money out of my pocket, without anything down, if you will, like most people would think. Everything literally started with me just starting out. So let's talk about this, okay? So today it all started with the drink. If when I was growing up, I used to see my dad and my uncles, my brother, everybody would drink beer, and they drank a lot of beer. And, growing up, I didn't like beer, but as I got older, obviously, I think that's something guys learn, beer is pretty good. And I started drinking pretty early on in life. I started when I was probably about 16 or 17. I started drinking alcohol. And by the time I was 20 or 18 or 19, 20, I was drinking every day. Now, that was probably not a good thing, but it led me to a few different things. So drinking led me to shoot a lot of pool. My dad loved pool, billiards, and so I played a lot of pool. And pool usually happened, or playing pool usually happened at bars, and at bars, it's usually where I drank. And so for a long time, I would go looking for the best pool halls, pool tables, pool places, so I could play pool and I guess sometimes really just practice against really good players, maybe make a few bucks, gamble a little bit. And one day, I was probably around 22. I was looking for a new spot to hang out because the current place I was playing pool at was really not, it was really far away from my house, and it just didn't make any sense. And so I started to go in a different direction, and I went to a new place that had just opened up. It was a brand new spot. It was a new pool hall, and I started to play pool there. And I remember going, and they didn't actually have any alcohol because they were new and opening, and they hadn't gotten their permits. And so what I did is I went down to the local store, and the owner, the manager of this bar that didn't have alcohol said, if you guys were interested, you could go and, purchase alcohol and come and just drink it in here. You don't have to buy it from us because we're not selling it. So I went out and I got a drink at the local convenience store. I came back and I sat down there and I had some pool, and me and my buddies played, and we did that one night. And then I was like, man, that was cool. Let's go do it again. And they had some really nice pool tables. And so I would go back every single day playing pool, and became like a habit. And it became such a habit to me at the specific spot that it became kind of like a local. And the manager there was kind of cool, but unique. They always took care of me. They helped me. They really didn't hook us up with drinks because they didn't sell any. And when they finally got their liquor license to be able to sell alcohol, was probably 2 or 3 months into being open. And that's when I had my first meeting with the owner. And the owner it wasn't a meeting, I should say. It's when I met the owner. And the owner of the bar was an Indian American or an Asian Indian American guy, new to the area, was trying to start in business. And I didn't know him very well, but I introduced myself. He introduced himself to me. And then later that night, we just kind of said hi and stuff. And so for the next few months, I would run into him there while he was there and, say hi. And over, the course of the next few months, I would run into him more often. And then sometimes I would stop and say, hey, how are you? And he would tell me good. I'd say, how's business? Just making conversations. And one night I said, they got their liquor license. I said, can I buy you a drink? And he said, of course, so I bought him a drink and we sat down at the bar and we got to know each other. And it was really cool because the guy really didn't have a lot of friends, and he really wasn't, a social butterfly at the time. And I'll say that because it was really true. And so him and I talking was pretty interesting because he didn't have a lot. He had a lot to say, but he didn't know how to say it. And, he had a heavy accent, but I was willing to just be friends with him because obviously he was the owner and he was just being a good guy. So after that conversation, I became very interested in learning more about what he was doing and how he did it because he was young and honestly, he wasn't that bright, but he was really, driven. And so I would go more often and frequently, and I'd go earlier, and sometimes I'd stay late. And a lot of that came down to me learning how to network with him. And so I networked with him and the people he knew, and then all the bar people, and I became a barfly. I was there every day, every night. And what I would do is I would, stay until they closed. And when they'd close, sometimes we'd stay afterwards and have a few drinks. And, I just started to get to know people. And I remember, people that were there really didn't have much ambition, but the owner of the bar did, and he would always talk about the things he was going to do and the next steps in his life, and it was really inspiring to me because I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was still young. I was like 22, 23. I was very confused to what I wanted to do with my life, and so he said, he would say things like, "I'm going to open this other hotel, and I'm going to start a new franchise." Like he would tell me all these ideas, and I was just there like, "What am I going to do?" And so one day I was talking with another buddy of mine at another party or something, and he talked me into thinking about doing real estate. And so I remember going back to the bar a few days later, same place, sat down with the owner, and he's like, "So what have you been up to?" I said, "Well, I'm thinking about getting into real estate." And so he's like, "Yeah, that sounds great, man. Real estate's amazing. I just bought this building." And I was like, "Man, this guy's doing good stuff." So I decided to share that with him. And I guess that right there was the start of our good relationship because I don't think I added any value to him beforehand until the time I said I wanted to get into real estate. Because he said, "Man, I'd love for you to get your license because I know there's a lot of things that I want to do in real estate. And maybe we can do it together, or maybe you can help me and find me places that I can buy. And, you get a commission." And I thought, wow, this is really cool. So for the next few months, I was still a local, except I started to become more valuable at this place. And let me tell you what I did. So I would go out every night. I would go and I'd drink and have a good time. I'd pay my tab. And once I was done paying my tab and people were leaving for the day, I would literally help clean up the place. So I would throw out bottles, I'd take out the trash, I would mop and sweep, and I didn't expect to get anything out of it. I literally did it just as a good deed. I didn't have anywhere else to go anyways, but to be a good deed for the guy that was really nice to me. And so I would help him out and I would, do things. I would, kind of monitor things during the time I was there. And it became something that I was just doing for the heck of it. I really never, ever expected anything. I didn't ask for free drinks. I didn't ask for free pool. I didn't ask for free anything. Now, if they gave me something, which he did every now and then, give me a drink or give me some food or whatever, that was cool. But I wasn't doing it that way. It was really just giving without expectation. So every night I would clean up and just help out. And what happened was I became very dependable to him. And I'll call it dependable. Probably a better word to say is he knew he could count on me to help him. And I didn't really do it for the purposes of doing anything other than just being a good person, honestly. And I would stay late. I'd show up sometimes early and help him during the day. I always was drinking. So it wasn't like I was working. You ever get paid to drink? Well, I was drinking. And so I would do this every single day. And eventually it just became a habit. I was just doing it every day. I was just reliable. I didn't have much to do in my life. I was taking real estate classes. I was trying to figure out my life. I was taking some college courses. I was living off of student loans. I was really not doing much, but I was really willing to work. And that was a huge deal because I think this is a skill that is very underrated, the ability to work, to get the job done. This is a skill that's very underrated. I think people think of work as work, and when people aren't willing to do more than they're paid to do, it's very difficult for people to see much in them. It's very hard to see somebody shine when you're doing the same thing as everyone else. So most of his employees and his staff that worked there, because I wasn't getting paid, but he had teams, people that worked there, they were lazy. They wouldn't clean up right. They wouldn't stock the beer right. They wouldn't do things. And I would see those things and I would help him fix the problems that they were causing because I was willing to work. And that really became something that was really cool, because it was weird because I was doing it out of just being a good person, but also what it was teaching me was a lot about how business worked, running and managing people. But I didn't do any of it personally, but it was his job. I was just helping. So I learned a lot. And that willingness to work really led me to learning each and every day. I learned everything kind of through osmosis, and so much more than I ever thought I could learn just by sitting down and listening. I mean, I would stay until 5, 6 in the morning some days, helping to count inventory and just bullshit. It was really nothing special. It was really one of those things that I didn't think second about. I didn't have anything else to do, honestly. So it really just became something I was just doing out of for the heck of it. So what it really made me to do is stay hungry. And so here's kind of the transition. I know it's kind of drawn out, but what I want you to get here is that I started with just being a patron. I started by building a little network and communicating with somebody who I thought would be somebody interesting to know. I established a really good relationship. I give without expectations. I assisted and helped in any way I could. I learned so much. And this actually stay hungry part doesn't really tie in really well, but here's what happened. I believe that there is no such thing as luck, but I do believe that there are opportunities that can be disguised as luck if you're prepared for them. And one day I walk into the bar to have a drink and, shoot some pool. And my buddy, which, who's the owner of the bar, is there. And he says, "Hey man, let's have a talk." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "I know that you've been interested you're interested in this bar. You really like it. It's like your home." And I said, "Yeah." And I said, maybe one day I'll be the manager of this place. I told him that right there at then. And he goes, "Yeah, man, that's actually I've thought about that." And I said, "Okay, well, whatever, I'm just having a drink." And he goes, "Well, I'm actually interested in actually selling this place. And I need to get out of this business. There's some things I got to do. I got some other things I need to take care of. And I was wondering if you would like to purchase this business." And I said, well, you know what I do, and you know how much money I have, and you take most of it," because I was giving him all my money every day anyways. There's no way I could afford to do that. And he says, "You're a hard worker, and I see a lot in you. I'd be willing to do something big for you. If you're really interested in this place, I'd be willing to finance the deal for you." And maybe he didn't say it in those nicer words, but that's really what he said. And I said, "Well, that's cool, but I don't have any idea what to do here." And he goes, "Well, I'll help you as much as I can. And, this will be yours." I said, "Well, I don't have money to operate." And he goes, "Whatever's in the till, well, on Friday, we'll do this transition. Whatever's in the till is yours. You use that to supply yourself. And then you make it. I'll leave all the inventory and everything." And I thought, wow, this is an interesting situation, but obviously I didn't have to think twice. And over the next few days, we wrote some little documents up and put some things together. And he gave me the opportunity to own this bar. And I took on a bar at 24 years old, probably one of the craziest things I've ever done in my life, because I was already drinking every day. Imagine if I had an unlimited stock of alcohol. And a young guy, it was probably not the best move, because of the things that probably transpired for the next few years, which were me drinking every day, partying every day, doing stupid stuff every day. But it taught me a lot. And it taught me a lot about learning people. I think the reason I'm very good with people today and understanding people and able to communicate with people is for a long time, I had to deal with drunks, and dealing with drunks is very difficult. Talking to people who are intoxicated is very difficult. Dealing with staff that's pretty much not excited to go to work every day is very difficult. Dealing with vendors who are always shorting you and trying to steal stuff and, overcharging you, very difficult. Dealing with a city and inspectors and people who were always out to find some reason to fine you was very difficult. Dealing with all of these things caused me to become a very good communicator, a very savvy saver, and really a great marketer. Taught me to be a good marketer, because I had to be a good marketer to open that bar and keep it running. Over the next year, he financed everything for me. We paid him back. But what happened was, in that next year, I doubled the sales of the company, of the business. I really blew it out of the water, and it became something I was very passionate about. Now, why did I want to share this story with you, right? Let me step back and show you where I think this all happened, because I look back and I'm wondering, like, why would he have let me do this? What did he do? What did he see in me? And really what I think he saw in me was an opportunity, because I was willing to work, because I was giving without expectation, because I shared with him my ambitions of becoming a real estate agent. And honestly, I fulfilled them while I was there. And I think that in itself showed that I was determined, I was driven, I was humble, I was helpful, I was, willing to do whatever it took. And literally when I took over that bar, I was there all the time like before, but this means I was like living there. I would get up at, 11 in the morning, because I would get home at 5 or 6, and I'd get 5 or 6 hours of sleep, and then I'd go back to the bar and I'd run it again. And I just did that cycle viciously over and over. And I was always there, always there. I lived there for 3 to 4 years. I mean, I lived in that place every day, all day, every day, all day. And I didn't know that it was building discipline that I never had before. I didn't know it was making me better as a communicator. I didn't know all those things. So let me challenge you here, okay? You got to be prepared for things. It's what I'll call luck. You see, many people will show up to a job like this one, like what I'm doing, or somewhere else, and just think about it as a job. And in all honesty, it can be a job. But there's opportunities all around us, but the only reason you don't get them is because you're not prepared for them. You're just not prepared. And I see people today that are lacking the ability to see that. They actually want luck as opposed to opportunity. They want the lottery instead of working for the million. They want to own the company without actually working to get the company, right? They want to be the boss without being a leader. And so many people go through this every single day. It's like a vicious cycle. I would expect, that I would expect that very few people get the luck that I got, because I was lucky, but I was also prepared. My belief here is that if you are thinking, well, there's nothing more for me at my current job, my current position, that's not actually true. I think that there's opportunities everywhere. See, I don't think companies let go of great people, right? I think they partner with great people. I think they become more great with the company that really wants to support their success. I think that partnerships are grown through opportunity, and some opportunities come in the form of luck. My belief here is that I was lucky, but I was very prepared. And today I'm so blessed because of that guy. His name's Cal, by the way. If you don't know Cal, he's still my partner. Still a good friend of mine. I don't tell him how much I care and admire and respect for the things he did for me, but that's probably something I need to do more of. But here, just so y'all know, it is what it is because of what I did. And it could be in the most uncommon places. Nobody would have ever guessed that. My parents used to tell me, why you're always drinking, you're partying, you're smoking, you're acting stupid. People always told me I was being stupid. Well, hey, look at me now. Right? Hey, look, Ma, I made it, right? My mom told me that yesterday, actually. Your mom can never tell you how much they love you and how much they're proud of you. They can never say it enough, and without it making so much more meaning to you. Now, I'm not anything special today. I'm not claiming to be. I'm just telling you what I've done and what it's helped me to get there. So if I were you and I was looking for an opportunity, I would be telling you it's probably dressed up as work. It's probably dressed up as something that you don't want to do. It's probably seeking or asking you to do more than you're expected to do. And it's probably something you need to stay committed to doing. I think that's probably the biggest challenge between most people who succeed and those who don't, is they get to a certain point, they give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Don't let anybody distract you. Share what you're trying to accomplish. Share what you want to do. Thomas Edison said he wanted to be part of, no, there was a guy who wanted to be partnered with Thomas Edison. I can't remember the guy's name, but he really worked really hard. There's a book about it. And he worked really hard to get into Thomas Edison's office to become his partner. And they became partners in the telephone company. And there's so many examples of people who did what I've done, except, I'm not even anywhere near in most cases where they're at. I'll just tell you that I'm pushing real hard every day to find more opportunities. And every day I deliver to people, like my team, my friends, my family, in hopes that one day they'll say, David, I want you to help me do this. And hopefully it becomes a partnership and it makes us a ton of money, or it puts us in a path to be successful in some area of the life that I'm not in right now. So you might want to consider that today. Let me see if I see any questions here. I don't think there should be any questions, but if you do have a question, I can see here. I got a lot of good people on here. Good morning. Look at that. All right. So I hope the story inspired you in some respect to start working towards, sharing who you are and what you want to do, and getting closer to becoming a part of something bigger than yourself. I see somebody commenting here. Jeremy. I bought my last lottery ticket about 4 years ago and told myself, I guess God wants me to work for everything I get. Since then, I've doubled my income, put it into work. Oh man, that is so, oh, Edward, it's Edward was his partner. Edward, what? Nice. Yeah, I can't even say that, but yes, that's it. So funny that you say that, Jeremy, is that I'm not a big gambler. I don't really bet on things. I mean, I will if it's for fun. I won't bet to win because I know I'm never going to win. Just, my dad used to have a saying. It's funny as hell. He said, the life of a Mexican's always dreaming. That's why they buy lottery tickets. And my dad would buy them. I was like, this is stupid, right? I'm not a lottery ticket guy. I think I did a few times when I was younger. Every now and then I buy them as a joke or a gift, but I won't do it because honestly, I'd bet on me more than I bet on anything else. So I'm glad you said that, man, because that's really true. Same statement. Let me see, last statement here before we end today. Oh, there it is. Barnes. Yeah, there you go. Barnes. It's true. All right. So I really appreciate you guys watching our DDD. If you have any questions or need me for anything, please let me know. Please get my book at davidapettis.com. I'd love to get your hands a copy of this book. And if you want to connect with me, look for me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. I'd love for you to connect with me there as well. So I want to say thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you at next week's DDD. Have a great day. Bye-bye.